Hello, and welcome back to my channel, Dinar and Dong Updates. A new dawn for Iraq. The dinar revaluation that could reshape global currency markets. In a development that has the financial world holding its breath, Iraq stands on the cusp of a potentially game-changing economic move. The revaluation of its national currency, the Iraqi Dinar, IQD. For years, currency investors, economists, and Iraqi citizens have speculated about the possibility of such a shift. But now, all signs suggest that this long-awaited transformation is not only imminent, but also momentous. Across Iraq, an air of anticipation is palpable. Screens flicker in living rooms and cafes, with families and professionals alike glued to live updates. Banks have extended their working hours. Some currency exchange counters have temporarily paused services, and even ATMs have gone offline due to system upgrades and surging activity. These aren't just isolated incidents. They're part of a larger wave of preparation, hinting at a financial evolution unlike anything the country has seen in decades. And while the Central Bank of Iraq has yet to officially confirm the new rate, the speculation is explosive. Rumors suggest a dramatic leap, the IQD potentially revaluing to as high as $5.90 per dinar. Even the Vietnamese Dong is being mentioned in the same breath, with whispers of an unprecedented spike in its value. If true, this shift could send shockwaves through the global economic landscape. But what's behind this surge of confidence? Why now? And what does this mean for Iraq, its people, and the world? Building the foundation. Iraq's economic transformation. To understand the potential revaluation, one must first look at Iraq's journey over the past 2 decades. Emerging from years of conflict, sanctions, and political instability, Iraq has been on a determined path toward economic modernization and financial independence. In recent years, the Iraqi government has implemented bold reforms aimed at stabilizing the currency and improving the country's fiscal outlook. From reducing inflation and strengthening the banking sector to enhancing transparency and courting international investment, Iraq has laid the groundwork for a financial renaissance. Oil revenues remain a dominant force in Iraq's economy, and with oil prices stabilizing and production increasing, Iraq's treasury is healthier than it's been in years. Moreover, Iraq's partnerships with international organizations, such as the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and World Bank, have helped steer the country toward long-term sustainability. These institutions have provided not just financial aid, but also guidance on best practices, budget planning, and economic diversification. With foreign exchange reserves rising, inflation curbed, and foreign direct investment growing, Iraq is finally in a position to make a bold move, one that reflects its true economic capacity. The rationale behind the revaluation currency revaluation isn't done lightly. It's typically driven by strong economic indicators, sound fiscal policy, and a clear vision for future growth. For Iraq, experts believe all these boxes have now been checked. Financial analysts and economists point to the current exchange rate, where $1 buys over 1,300 dinars, as being outdated and unreflective of Iraq's actual purchasing power and economic stature. A stronger dinar would better mirror Iraq's enhanced fiscal health and help combat inflation by increasing consumer purchasing power. Additionally, a revalued currency would boost national pride and financial confidence. It would also encourage international businesses to view Iraq as a more stable and attractive investment destination. A more valuable dinar could lead to lower import costs, increased business activity, and improved economic momentum. In short, the timing of the revaluation isn't accidental, it's strategic. Iraq has reached a financial threshold that allows it to take this bold step without jeopardizing its macroeconomic stability. Global attention and investor anticipation. Currency investors around the world have long speculated on the dinar's potential. Thousands of individuals have held on to dinar notes with the hope that one day their patience would be rewarded. Now, as Iraq inches closer to announcing a new official rate, that hope is being rekindled with renewed intensity. Trading platforms, forums, and financial news outlets are abuzz with speculation. Some investors are dusting off notes they've held for over a decade, while others are scrambling to acquire more before the window of opportunity closes. Currency exchange centers in various countries are reporting increased demand for the dinar, and online communities are alive with predictions, analyses, and emotional testimonials. However, experts are urging caution. While the potential upside is substantial, it's important to approach any investment with a balanced perspective. Investors are advised to monitor official updates from the Central Bank of Iraq and consult with licensed financial advisors before making any decisions. What this means for Iraqi citizens. For the people of Iraq, this isn't just about currency values, it's about daily life. A stronger dinar could dramatically increase the average citizen's purchasing power. With more valuable wages, Iraqis could better afford essentials, invest in education, purchase property, and save for the future. Inflationary pressures, long a thorn in the side of the average household, could ease significantly. Small businesses, which form the backbone of Iraq's economy, would likely benefit from increased consumer spending and more favorable import costs. This could lead to expansion, job creation, and a more dynamic domestic market. Additionally, a revaluation could pave the way for improved infrastructure and public services. With more government revenue and greater economic stability, investments in healthcare, education, and transportation could accelerate, enhancing the quality of life for millions. There's also a psychological element. A rising currency can instill national pride and optimism, fostering a more confident, forward-looking society. The symbolism of a revaluation could mark the turning of a page in Iraq's modern history, one from conflict and hardship to prosperity and hope. International implications, a ripple across borders. The global impact of a dinar revaluation shouldn't be underestimated. If Iraq adjusts its exchange rate significantly, it could prompt reassessments of Middle Eastern markets and increase interest in other undervalued currencies. Neighboring countries, international trading partners, and global corporations may find new opportunities in Iraq. A stronger currency combined with political and economic stability could turn Iraq into a hub for trade, logistics, and investment. Moreover, this shift could spark a re-evaluation of foreign reserves held by central banks, particularly in regions with significant exposure to Middle Eastern economies. Financial institutions around the world may need to adjust their strategies in light of Iraq's changing monetary landscape. And if the rumors regarding the Vietnamese Dong are true, suggesting a similar upward revaluation, it would further amplify the effects. It could represent a broader trend among emerging markets, one that challenges the traditional dominance of Western currencies in global trade and finance. Challenges and unknowns. While the potential benefits are vast, this move comes with inherent risks and uncertainties. A revaluation of this magnitude is a complex operation. There are numerous questions still to be answered. Will the revaluation happen overnight or be phased in gradually? How will existing dinar holders, both domestic and foreign, be treated under the new rate? Will there be restrictions or guidelines for currency exchanges? What measures will be taken to prevent fraud, counterfeiting, or market manipulation? Managing public expectation and avoiding market instability will be key. Authorities must ensure that communication is clear, transparent, and timely. Any confusion or lack of clarity could lead to panic, speculation, or manipulation, especially in the early days following the announcement. Moreover, not all sectors of the population will benefit equally. While urban banked populations may have quicker access to new rates and services, rural or underbanked communities might face delays or barriers. It will be critical for the Iraqi government and its financial institutions to ensure inclusivity and fairness throughout the transition. A defining moment in Iraq's history. If successful, this revaluation could be the catalyst Iraq needs to fully reclaim its position as a rising economic force in the region. It could usher in an era of modernization, investment, and innovation, transforming not only Iraq's financial identity, but also its international relationships. The world is watching closely, not just to see what happens next, but to learn from Iraq's journey. This could become a model for other nations with undervalued currencies and untapped economic potential. The revaluation represents more than a fiscal event. It symbolizes a national rebirth. After years of struggle, setbacks, and rebuilding, Iraq has reached a point where it can chart its own financial destiny with confidence. And as the currency strengthens, so too does the nation's outlook. Final thoughts: hope, caution, and vigilance. This moment carries with it immense promise, but also responsibility. For investors, it's an opportunity to witness history and possibly benefit from it. For Iraqis, it's a chance to dream bigger and live better. For the world, it's a reminder of